This is the Lowco FC podcast. Here are your hosts, Kerr and Misael Garzon.
And welcome into a very special episode of Lowco FC. It is Championship Eve. Tomorrow will be a heck of a day here in the Lowco soccer scene because we've got not one, not two, not three, 5 Lowco state championships that will take place across South Carolina, across the state, including the South Carolina High School League 3A boys showdown between Beaufort and Daniel, and alongside that, 4 other SCISA championship games. Is truly soccer city over there at Beaufort. A lot of Beaufort area teams competing for hardware tomorrow, including those Eagles. So I'm Kerr, joined by Misael Garzon, and Misa, you got me feeling excited about a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely, man. 5 teams from the Lowco representing in SCISA and the public high school. All games are going to be in Columbia. We're excited. There should be some champions. There will be champions. We do have some Lowco and Lowco FC matchups, but an awesome story to get where we are now. Wes, we talked about it all season in our podcast about the possibility of having more teams from our area represented in the state championship weekend. And here we are on Friday night eve, the final night before the final day of the regular season for our soccer season, and we have 5 teams from the Lowco that will be fighting for a state championship. That's awesome to hear.
What a way to cap off this exciting Lowco soccer season, and hopefully we'll have a lot of teams bringing home hardware and bringing home some championships to close out what's been a fun spring here. But both Holy Trinity boys and girls will be in action tomorrow. Beaufort Academy, their girls will be competing for a state title as well as the boys, so both BA boys and girls. But then you got Hilton Preps girls also competing for a state championship against Myrtle Beach Christian Academy. Then, of course, you got the big one over at Irma High School, which I will be at, and you will be at as well. The Beaufort Eagles up against Daniel. And we have a great show for you today. We'll be joined by Jack Troutman of Beaufort High School, was a state champion on the football team as a kicker, and now just scored the game-time goal on a free kick to help Beaufort advance to this first ever 3A state championship game for the Eagles. We'll also hear from Keiley Good, the stud 8th grader from the Beaufort Academy girls squad, also vying for a state title. And we'll also get some insights from our friend Brew Nimmons, who covers the Daniel Lions up in the upper state. So we'll hear from him later on in the show. But first, just a big picture. I mean, what a tremendous run. It's really been the year of the Eagle, and here come the Beaufort High soccer boys looking to capture a championship of their own. What a night it was on Monday as they outlasted a very good Waccamaw squad in penalty kicks to advance to the championship game.
Yeah, no, it was a very, very competitive game. Traveling up 3 hours to go to Waccamaw is no easy feat. Waccamaw has had a very strong season this year. We had the chance to go up to Waccamaw to North American and play them in a game that I felt was needed for us to prepare for our playoff run. And they went up there, and they were down every time of the game. They were down 1-0. They came back and tied it, and they were down 2-1. And like you said, a state champion already this season came in. It was about a 32 or 33-yard free kick that he made with about 8 minutes left in the game and just shot it in past the keeper. Here we go. We have the highlights here. And this has been the theme of Beaufort all season, right? We talked about it early in the season. Coach Rollins talked about it last week about them not giving up and knowing that they have a fight until the final whistle. And as you see here, there's 8 minutes left in the game. 8 minutes left in the game, goes far post. That ties the game up. Beaufort had to hold on in overtime. So in the high school league playoffs, you have 2 10-minute overtimes. And if it's still tied, you have 2 5-minute golden goal overtimes. And then you go to penalty shootout. So they held on. Overtime was tough. Waccamaw was attacking consistently throughout the second half. They have a forward who scored over 100 goals for his career, who's playing in the top all-star game of Clash of Clans, so it was no easy feat. But then in penalty shootouts, they won 4-2. They were here against Hanahan to win the region, as we remember, a few weeks ago. So it was nothing new for them. It was a big win. They celebrated. They much deserved, and now they are getting ready. As Coach Rollins said, he was planning on playing until May 13th. And guess what? May 13th, they'll be playing for a state championship.
They're playing to the very last possible day, thanks to a tremendous comeback. And here's the clinching goal to send the Eagles to that state championship game as the celebration begins for the Beaufort faithful on the track at Waccamaw High School. And they are going crazy. I mean, what a journey this group has been on to get that big region title and just keep the momentum going into the playoffs, the excitement, the emotion. You love to see it from this team that's worked so hard to get to this stage.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's
There's
something.
Anderson Jones.
Yeah, Anderson was there. He's been
Oh.
there every step of the way this season since he came back from his surgery, from his recovery. But yeah, man, we've talked about this, and Coach Vaughn talked about this. Even we had Beaufort on, they've talked about this, about the resiliency that they've shown, and they felt since last year that they had the talent to compete and play up until the very last day of the season, and they've shown it. With the tough region they were in, I think it was one of the toughest regions in 3A. Good off non-region schedule, playing competitive teams in our area, such like us, Bluffton, John Paul. They mixed it up well. Where this team has been together for so long, you see it when they play on the field. They are committed. They are all tuned in to the common goal. And now tomorrow, they're going up to Columbia in a late kickoff, probably 8 p.m. to play the defending 3A champions, Daniel High School, DW Daniel, who are the defending champions, who have been in the state championship the last 2 years. So you're going up against an experienced squad who's been here before, who's dealt with the pain of defeat, but also has come back to win a championship. So it's going to be a tough matchup. But if we know anything about the Beaufort Eagles soccer team, they've shown resiliency and they've shown that they will fight to the end. So expect nothing different tomorrow night.
And we got to talk about that with Jack Troutman, who was the hero to tie the game on that beautiful free kick before the Eagles won it in penalties. So let's hear from Jack Troutman now here on Lowco FC. Kerr, and I am joined by Jack Troutman, who was the hero of Beaufort's lower state championship game earlier this week against Waccamaw with a game-tying free kick to send to extra time before the Eagles came up big in the penalty shootout to clinch their spot in the state championship game coming up tomorrow night. Jack Troutman, how are you feeling, and what a special year it's been for Beaufort High, but just take me through that moment of winning that one at Waccamaw in dramatic fashion.
I'm just extremely excited that we've come this far. I know me and the rest of my team we're in it to win. And Waccamaw, I don't think that was a blooper. I think we were 100% all in for that game. Just excited we came out with a W, and we're excited to go play tomorrow.
What was the energy? What was the vibe like that with the celebration and that bus ride home? Nothing better than coming back after a win like that.
Oh, it was incredible. Coach Rollins shared with us before the game that Beaufort High has never won a lower state championship, and we've only had one appearance in lower state. So it was really, really exciting, and we were all ecstatic to hear that we were making history at Beaufort High.
Another historic mark in what's been a phenomenal academic and athletic season and school year here at Beaufort High, starting with that football state championship, which you were a part of. So, just reflect on this amazing year that you have had, first being that starting kicker for Beaufort High's football team, winning that state championship, and now going here one step away from taking home another title.
I know there's a few guys on our team, Beck, Brennan, Will Kaiserling. We're all kind of in the same boat where we were a part of that state championship team. In the moment, that was amazing. But now we're looking to win a second one here on Saturday. We're just excited for that.
Tell me more about your background and how you started playing soccer and football as well, transitioning to the kicker role. Just tell me about your athletic background and when you really started to find your niche in both of those sports.
Okay, I'll start with football. So a couple years ago, my freshman year, the kicker coach for Beaufort High went to my church, and he knew that I played soccer, and his name's Jeff Abrams. And he reached out to me, and he was like, come out to football spring practice. I know you play soccer, and we're in need of a kicker. And I was like, all right. So I kind of went out there freshman year. I was kind of like the little guy on the team, like freshman kicker, not really a big shot. And then I just kind of stuck with it. Sophomore year, kind of enjoyed it. Junior year, stuck with it. Junior year is the first year I started for varsity. And then senior season, finishing off strong with a state championship. Not a better way to do it. Soccer, I've been playing soccer for 14 years since I was a little kid. It started with, like rec soccer, pals, and then I moved up to travel soccer, played that for a few seasons, played middle school soccer, and now here we are, high school soccer, and I've got a chance to finish it off on a great note, winning a state championship.
Well, it's been a magical athletic year, as I mentioned, here at Beaufort High, and you've been a big part of that. Reflect on this season as a whole. You guys moving down to Class 3A in a very difficult region against some solid competition, but you guys came out on top with that dramatic penalty shootout win over Hanahan. Just describe the emotion of that night, winning it for your coach, clinching that region title after the 4-year journey that your team has been on to get to this level. Just describe the emotion on that night and how you guys really dug in to get that win. Now you carried the momentum with you into the playoffs.
Yeah, it has been a phenomenal season. That win over Hanahan was definitely a motivator for us. I know at the beginning of the year or beginning of the season, the big talk from coach was, we really want to win region this year. Like that was our ultimate goal. And, coming down to game time, we were excited because we had beaten Hanahan that same week, earlier in the week. So we knew we could do it. And, in the game, it was a little chippy. Beck Schwerin actually got a red card, and that was kind of like it was a kind of an obstacle we had to overcome because obviously when you get a red card, you're playing a man down the rest of the game. So that was tough. Props to Beck, though. He stayed and encouraged us. He was by our side the whole time. But we were able to, play a man down, make it to PKs, and then ultimately come out with a win. So it was very, very exciting for us.
Well, Beck Schwerin is a monster season, got that hat trick against Dreher in the playoffs. What has his play meant to the squad, especially these last few games in the postseason to put you guys over the top and now in the state championship?
Oh, my gosh. Beck's a phenomenal soccer player. I've been playing with him close to all my life. He's a big, big part of our team. As a senior, he's got probably over 20 goals in the season. Just a phenomenal soccer player. We just try to feed him up top and let him do his thing.
He's been doing the work so far in the playoffs. Who have been some of the other unsung heroes on this team that have really risen to the occasion, down the stretch in region play and then the playoffs, guys that we may not have heard of them as more often as some of the guys we've talked about, like Beck, yourself, and DeFilippis, but who are some of the guys who have really stepped up that earn and deserve more attention?
It's hard to single out, players. I would say one huge thing that we have going on that most teams don't, our second strings. I mean, you could ask any of the starters. We're all confident in all of their play, like Landon, Aiden, Landon the defender, Aiden striker, and even the players that do start, we're confident in all of them and have no doubts in any of them.
And you got to have terrific play in that, and your goalie has come up big so many different parts of the season, and especially in that penalty shootout to seal a deal. Had to make a couple saves. One was disallowed. They had to re-kick it, but he ended up coming up big in the end, making a big stop to put you guys over the top there in that shootout. But, just terrific job there. Just describe what Nigel Bell has meant to this team.
Nigel's excellent. Will, our second-string goalkeeper, is excellent as well. Nigel's been able to step up when we need him the most. PKs against Hanahan, PKs against Waccamaw, some really tight games where we're 1-0, 0-0. He's been able to come up and make some game-saving saves, which is really a big deal. We're just beyond lucky to have him as our keeper.
Well, take me through this lower state championship game. You guys trailed a couple of times. You were down 2-1 and until you came up big with the big equalizer on the free kick. Just tell me how you guys are trying to push for the tie those last 20 minutes, that last half of soccer, and how you seized the moment and took advantage and put that ball in the back net to tie the game.
So the entire game, we weren't ever in doubt that we weren't going to win that game. We all knew, we had that dog in us. We were going to come up and take the win. And I just think we all had to, play our best game. And in the moment when we were down 2-1, there wasn't really anyone on the field saying, man, like we're going to lose this game. Like everyone was confident. We had Eduardo, one of the probably unsung people that you talk about. He's a phenomenal soccer player. We had him man marking number 10, which was an excellent player. And him doing that really kind of allowed us to, play our best game. And then when I was able to, have the opportunity, that free kick, coach was on the sideline. He was like, roll it, I was like, coach, man, I got this one. And I was just trying to seize the moment and put it in the back of the net. And luckily we were able to do that.
Absolutely perfect free kick. Took one bounce right into the net. And just past the diving goalkeeper, couldn't have drawn up any better. Is that a thing you practice a lot in during the year, over the summer in practice? How much have you worked on those free kick situations?
In practice, we practice them. Mostly it's me and Ben Christian who take some of the farther ones out. You get some of the closer ones. You get like Sam to take them. But just throughout the entire season, having more and more reps of doing that. Ben and I got pretty good at them, and I'm confident if Ben was taking that one, he could have done the same thing I did. But I was just able to step in there and take that one and come up with a goal.
What is it about this group of guys, this group of brothers we talked about in football season that, just find a way when the chips are down, when you're behind the game to just, deliver that extra 10% to get yourself back in it and find a way to get the job done in the end. We saw it during football season so many times in that playoffs, and that energy is carried over no matter what the sport's been this year at Beaufort High. Tell me about what that state championship win did, and the playoff runs that came before it to just motivate and you just have that feel inside of you guys that whatever the situation is, you can find a way to get the job done.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the guys on the team, not a lot of them, but a couple of guys played football. So we all kind of knew like what it felt like to win a state championship. And we just kind of felt like the support that football had. And, in soccer, you don't really get that as much as football. And we just like knew that. And so we were just kind of looking to, kind of impress everyone. And I think like having that extra motivation to, be like football, you got to go out there, gain the respect. And I feel like we've gained the respect this season. So that kind of gives you a little extra motivation to push through the season and win.
Yeah, and it's rubbed off on every program. We look at what basketball is able to do. Colton Ferris in wrestling. Tell me about your relationship with him. And what a fantastic young man who just does the right thing and is just so motivated. And that guy is a force, whether it's on the football field or wrestling mat. What did a guy like him teach you as a football player and just as an athlete to just persevere and find a way to get the job done?
Colton's an excellent athlete. Obviously, going to the next level, the highest level, D1, it's very impressive. And I think from him on the football field, he's a leader out there, and it just kind of like taught me to, like I can be that leader on the soccer field. So him just teaching me to, stay positive, like lock in, be that leader. It's kind of transferred over to soccer. So I can give him props for that.
And that veteran leadership has been very prominent with you and your fellow upperclassmen in the soccer field. And you got to have a good leader over there on the sidelines. And Coach Terry Rollins, what an outstanding, motivator and outstanding man he has been to this entire team. And we got to talk to him on our last episode of Lowco FC, and just the life knowledge and the lessons that he picked up along the way. When he was in the armed forces and then now transferring it over to a soccer coach, all the experience. I'm sure you've learned a lot of valuable lessons, not just about soccer, but about life in general with him.
Yeah, yes, for sure. I would say Coach Rollins is one of the most genuine man I've ever met in my life. He's definitely one of the most highly talkative people I know. Around the school, everyone's like, Rollins knows what he's talking about. And even if you ask Rollins, he's a life coach. He's not a sports coach, a teacher. He's not any of that. He's a life coach, and he's taught me several lessons throughout my soccer career, and I'm beyond grateful to have him in my life.
You guys have not finished the job yet. One more game coming up on Saturday tomorrow over at Irmo High School. You're facing Daniel for the ultimate prize, the state championship, a chance to win 2 state titles in 1 academic year. What have you seen with Daniel? Have you done any video scouting? Have you been watching them and seeing how they fit out there on the field and their strengths and weaknesses? Have you been able to see any of Daniel's play and just your initial thoughts?
We have been able to watch a little bit of Daniel's film. We watch film just to get an idea of what they're like as a team. But Saturday it's just another soccer game. I think if we go out there and give it 100%, I think we'll be fine. But yeah.
Well, really excited to watch you over there. But another terrific storyline of this season at Beaufort High has been Anderson Jones. What an unbelievable young man. He's set such an example, whether he was on the field for last year, on the court, and now watching from the sidelines after the tragedy that occurred this past summer. But he has still been an integral part of this Beaufort family, this Beaufort community. Being at every game after he came back from the hospital and just overcoming all that he had to push through just sets in a great lesson for you guys that you can persevere through whatever adversity comes your way. And you guys are going to want to win one for him on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's always a good sight to see him on the sideline. I know he's been there the entire playoff. He's been there the entire soccer season. So I think just seeing him on the sideline just gives us that extra motivation to know we can persevere through and come out with the win.
What are going to be the key areas that you guys are going to focus on in the state championship game if you guys want to take down Daniel and come back with another championship?
I think the key components for us, just staying calm, keeping our composure, playing our soccer, feeding back up top, beating them one-on-one. That's huge. I think if we're able to do all those things, I think we'll be all right.
How awesome has the support been, with the Kirkland Crazies over there supporting you on the football field, now on the soccer pitch when you guys have been home? It's just it's a very special bond, special family that these athletic programs have with each other, and just the support from the students, from the community. It's been something special, and it's been a fantastic ride for us to cover and for you to be a part of.
Yeah, I remember specifically looking back on the first round. It was home, and we were playing I forget who we played. But I remember looking up in the stands and seeing at halftime, I was like, dang, we got a lot of fans here today, and we were all just kind of motivated by that. And I think we're all just excited, we've kind of gained the respect of the fans. So we're expecting a big turnout on Saturday.
What has motivated you to perform so well in these clutch moments, no matter if it's a kicker on the football field or that kick taker on the soccer pitch? What motivates you? What goes through your head to make sure that you're on the top of your game in the biggest clutch moments of your sports to seize those moments and shine and find a way to put your team over the top?
Just being a leader on the field, I take it upon myself to, be that one guy who's just pushing everyone else. And, I got a lot of motivation from the guys on the field. A lot of my co-captains, Sam and Ben, they're excellent. Motivate me. They also motivate the entire team. My coach motivates me to, do my best. So I've just got a lot of motivation all around me to help me, be that leader.
Well, Jack, we've enjoyed having you on, but before we go and wish you good luck tomorrow, it's time for our Lowco FC penalty shootout. We're going to ask you 5 quick questions, and you're going to give me some rapid-fire answers, okay?
All right.
All right, so the first question here in our penalty shootout is, who is your favorite soccer team?
Okay. I don't watch professional soccer like most people do, but I should go with the classic Barcelona.
Great choice, great choice. A storied team for a number of years. And question 2 is, who is your favorite soccer player?
I'll go with the classic. I'll go with Messi.
Lionel Messi. Were you able to watch that World Cup final back in December?
I was. That was incredible.
Best soccer match I've ever seen. I mean, absolutely magical. And,
For sure.
That's something you can take away, and every player can find something to be inspired from the effort that we saw from both teams in that final. And hopefully you guys will, be able to create a moment just like that of joy and jubilation at the end. So we hope that happens for this Beaufort High Eagles squad and their fans on Saturday. Question number 3, what has been your all-time favorite soccer memory so far?
Definitely the region win against Hanahan. That's by far my most favorite moment.
Just an awesome moment for you guys and for Coach Rollins. He has worked so hard, and he wanted this as much as you get. Every guy in this team, you guys were working hard for that moment, and to see it pay off and to see you achieve it. I mean, the emotion. Just amazing. Goosebumps when I was watching you guys celebrate to achieve that, and let's see if we can see it again on Saturday once again with a state championship trophy. And then question number 4: what has been your most embarrassing or funniest soccer memory?
Most embarrassing. I'm gonna say it was this season. Went to clear the soccer ball, and Ben Christian happened to be in the way, and it hit him where you don't want to be hit. And it was kind of funny, but I kind of felt bad.
Happens to us all. Yeah, just to shake it off and get ready for the next play. But and finally, question number 5, Jack Troutman, what is your all-time favorite movie?
I'm gonna go The Blind Side. It's a good classic movie.
Yeah, fantastic football movie. That's a great story. Good story of perseverance and great acting as well. So awesome stuff there, Jack. And I mean, we've loved having you on here, and you have been such a great role model. You have been such a great role model and example setter for this entire Beaufort team. And without you, it's hard to see these teams get to where they've been right now. So we congratulate you on just an amazing Beaufort High school year, all the way starting from football to now to soccer. And just what a time it's been to be a Beaufort Eagle, be able to watch some of the tennis, baseball, softball action. Were you able to keep tabs on some of the other sports going on?
Yeah, I've been keeping up with baseball a little bit. I was at the baseball game last night. Went to I think the 14th inning, which is insane. It's that's 2 baseball games in one game. But unfortunately we lost, but it was a nail biter for sure.
Well, the magic has been in the air across Beaufort High. Graham Angus just won the tennis state title, and you guys now have a chance to win a championship of your own. Would be your second of the school year. So, Jack, we wish you all the best. Congratulations on an amazing year here at Beaufort High, and we wish you all the best, and we'll be pulling for you on Saturday night.
Thank you, Wes.
All right, thanks again to Jack Troutman. We'll be right back with more here on Lowco FC. All right, well, that was quite a treat there from Jack Troutman. Great to hear from him. And what a story, what a fantastic young man. We heard all about his prowess both in the football field as a kicker and then his dominance on the soccer field. And, that's a kid who has really inspired us as a leader and a hard worker. And he has earned all the success that he has gotten with this Beaufort High football and soccer team. And he has a chance to finish off quite a script here in the 2022-23 school year.
Sorry, guys, I'm muted. Great student and one of the other leaders that we've had this season with the Beaufort Crim that's helped them lead where they are. And the good thing about him is he has that championship experience with what he went through with the Beaufort football program, that he can bring that firsthand knowledge of what it takes to be mentally focused for tomorrow's game. Having been there, I think that's going to be huge for this young team because, none of these guys have been in the championship game before unless they were on the football team or in this past fall. So it's always something new. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of it's just a lot of emotions just when you first get to that field and you go in the locker room and then you start warming up. And so it's good to have a player that has the experience of having been there already. Even if it was a different sport, it's still a championship game. And I think it's going to be huge for tomorrow's matchup. But yeah, definitely great interview. Awesome student, finishing off what could be a phenomenal year, being a two-time state champion, playing both football sports.
I'll say there's always nerves when you come out for a championship game, no matter how many times you've done it. But to be there before, to know how it goes from the start and how to settle in and how to find a way to get the job done in the end, to have that veteran experience and leadership, that's so vital. And so Jack Troutman provides an important edge for Beaufort, but it's going to be a battle out there against Daniel High School. And for more, let's bring in Brew Nimmons, who covers this Daniel Lions squad. Brew, thank you so much for joining us here today. How are you doing? I can't quite hear you there. We're having a little bit of technical issues here with Brew Nimmons, so
we're live, guys. See, told you guys we're live.
Yeah. All right, we'll try again in a bit here with Brew, but in the meantime, let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsors. We'll be right back here in the Lowco FC podcast.
Hey, Lowco sports fans. This podcast and all of our grassroots local sports content are made possible by support from community sponsors, including Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate attorneys of Lowco Sports, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Our original sponsors are still among our greatest supporters. Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson are community pillars who will be in your corner no matter your legal needs. When you need legal representation, call on the attorneys who support Team Lowco. Call Mickelson Law Firm. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, the official hospice provider of Lowco Sports, and the only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County. For more than 30 years, the committed, compassionate staff at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry have been there to ensure your loved ones find comfort, honor, and dignity at the end of life. Because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. Homegrown Home Inspections, the official home inspectors of Lowco Sports. Jan Lucas and his team provide thorough, detailed home inspections aimed to ensure everyone goes into the transaction with open eyes and confidence. Jan would rather reveal an inconvenient truth than look the other way and provide reassurances that could come back to burn the buyer in the long run. If you're looking to buy or sell a home and need an honest, reliable inspector, call on Homegrown Home Inspections, official sponsors of Lowco Sports. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Lowco Sports. If your business or organization has a website and you're trying to figure out what SEO is, you need to call on Denise and Dave Sinkovich at DDS Web Design. They'll provide a free consultation and do all the behind-the-scenes work to boost your search engine optimization and get your website found online so you can take your business to the next level. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Lowco Sports. American Wood Reface, sustaining sponsors of Lowco Sports. Does your kitchen need a facelift? Before you start picking out new cabinets, give Ben and the team at American Wood Reface a shot. They can reface your existing cabinets to overhaul your aesthetic without the hefty price tag and reimagine your kitchen at a price point you can manage. Be sure to tell them Lowco sent you because every referral helps support Lowco Sports. 4M Metals, sustaining sponsor of Lowco Sports. Got metal? Your roof might need it. Metal roofing advantages include better energy efficiency, weather protection, longevity, a more aesthetically pleasing design, and the product is all green. So if you've been thinking about a new roof, go metal. Let 4M Metals be the difference in your roof. Jay's Barbershop. It's the talk of the town and the place to be in Ridgeland. If you need your ears lowered, head over to Jay's for a fresh cut and great conversation with good folks. And tell them Lowco sent you. Local Pie. official pizza sponsor of Lowco Sports. They sling some of the best pies in the Lowco, and my kids say the mac and cheese is the best around. Hungry? Hit up Local Pie, longtime supporter of Lowco Sports. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, the official floor cleaners of LowcoSports.com. If your feet tell you your floors need cleaning, call on Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. They provide residential and commercial services, including cleaning carpet and area rugs, tile and grout, upholstery, curtains and drapes, mattresses, and more. But most importantly, they'll get those floors so clean, your feet will thank them. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. Hilton Head Prep is a sustaining sponsor of Lowco Sports, and we tell you all about the Dolphins' athletic exploits. But did you know it's also the #1 ranked private K-12 school in Beaufort County and ranks in the top 2.5% of schools nationwide? Visit hhprep.org to see what Hilton Head Prep has to offer. Beaufort Academy is a sustaining sponsor of Lowco Sports, and we love covering the Eagles. With a student-to-faculty ratio of 7-1 and an average class size of 14 students, Beaufort Academy could be just the educational solution you're looking for, with more one-on-one attention. BA has a strong history of working with the whole child to prepare each student for college and life. Check them out at BeaufortAcademy.org. Thank you to all of our sustaining and supporting sponsors for their support of LowcoSports.com. Go Loco!
And welcome back here on Lowco FC. Wes Kerr joined by Misael Garzon, and let's try to bring Brew Nimmons back in here one more time. Brew, how are you doing here today?
I'm good. I'm glad. I think we have everything working now. Can you all hear me?
Awesome.
Is everything? We're working out great.
Yeah,
awesome.
Awesome. Well, Brew covers Daniel Athletics, and Brew, once again, thank you for joining us. How are you doing here tonight? You're just covering a softball game.
Yeah, I cover all of Pickens County athletics, but at this point in the season, the two teams I have left are Daniel Boys Soccer, which will be playing the state championship tomorrow, and Daniel Softball, which played Crescent High School here out in Iva tonight, where I am sitting right now in the parking lot. They fell tonight 9-6, but they will be back in action on Monday at home against Chapman.
So Daniel Softball still in action over there in the upper state bracket, and Daniel Soccer will be back on the field tomorrow for their finale state championship against Beaufort High School. And a very dominant effort by Daniel, 4-0 against Wren to clinch their spot in the championship game tomorrow against Beaufort. What stood out to you the most in that excellent win there from the Lions?
Honestly, the Wren game, it just felt easy, I guess. All year it's been, will Daniel be able to top Powdersville again? That was the team last year that they beat at Upper State to go. And that was the team that was right there around 2, 3, 4 range in the state rankings all year long. They finished that out on Friday against Wren. I mean, they had a backup goalkeeper in. You know, it seemed like everything came easy, 4-0 win, just a complete dominant effort. I mean, I was barely keeping up with things in the second half just because everything was pretty much in hand in the first 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it seems that it's been that way for the whole playoff run. 12 goals for, no goals allowed in this playoff run. What was the expectation heading into the season? Coach Phil last year stepped down. He's over in Haiti now doing mission work with his family. Great coach. I was speaking to him the other night. We actually have a little wager going on with Daniel Beaufort game. But with losing Coach Phil, losing the players that they had, the all-state player after winning a state championship, what was the expectation going into the season for the soccer program?
I know my expectation was, you know, they were always going to be good. I mean, Daniel's a team, it's missed the playoffs one time since the soccer program started back in the 70s. You knew they were going to be good, but I just didn't think that it was going to come as easy as it has this year. I mean, 3 all-state players, Ezra White, Tyler Brown, Liam Desjardins gone. Like you mentioned, Coach Phil. I mean, Coach Thomas Izaguirre, he is only, I think, 24, 25 years old at the lead of one of the most elite soccer programs in the state. So, you know, like I said, I thought they were going to be good. I saw them play Powdersville in March, and it was a close back and forth win. Because spring sports are so spread out for me, I have like 16 different teams to cover. I didn't get a chance to see them again, actually, until the first round of the playoffs. But you could tell this was a team that was good enough to compete for a state championship, even in March, and especially once I saw them again here at the start of the playoffs.
But what really has stuck out for me is that back line, that defense, just 19 goals conceded all year long, and a clean sheet so far through 4 playoff games, which is a unbelievable accomplishment. No matter who you're playing, and this 3A gauntlet that you've had to go through. Powdersville, you mentioned a very solid Ren team as well. That's no joke. Just tell me about that back line that has been so sensational this playoff run.
I think it really starts with Coleman Wright in the goal, actually. I mean, this is a kid who didn't have the best state championship 2 years ago. Eduardo Moisa Membreño from Brooklyn Casey, he got the best of him a few times on breakaways, and he came back and he worked his butt off. And last year, he had the game in the state championship. All those, I think he saved 4 or 5 penalties for the win. This year, I mean, he's been fantastic. Against Powdersville, I talked to his dad after the game, who's an assistant football coach over at Daniel, and he said that was the best game he thought he'd ever seen him play. And, I mean, it's definitely the best game I've seen him play. He stopped a breakaway, penalty save. I mean, with him in goal, it's hard to score on Daniel. The 2 center backs they have, Eric Thompson-Vasquez, Parker Summers, they're phenomenal. J.W. Sarkis, who's a center defensive midfielder, he's just great at, stopping anyone from getting too far up against the line. I mean, it's tough to score on Daniel, and they've got a lot of good guys back there that can really make things difficult for opposing attacks.
Yeah, and we spoke about the season they've had and the defensive work they've done. They've also done it offensively, where it hasn't been one standout attacker that's really scored the goals. It's been kind of, if you look at their stats across the board, you have different players who can attack and score. And we're not talking teams, but young players. Their top scorer is a junior. Their second top scorer is a sophomore. This year, they've only lost to 4A or 5A squads. They have not lost a game to a 3A squad this whole season. But just as strong as their defense has been, how has their attack been different this year with losing the caliber of players they lost last year, especially with a player like Ezra, who was one of the top players in the state?
I think that was my biggest worry coming into the year, was how they were going to adjust offensively without Ezra and even Liam guiding things in the midfield. I mean, Tyler transferring in from Seneca last year was a big help offensively, but just the way Ezra could control the ball, there's no one on this Daniel team that can really do what he could at the ball on his feet. But I mean, Kenny Flores has been spectacular. Most of the guys that have shown out this year that were younger, I had at least heard of before. But Kenny, he just kind of burst onto the scene. I mean, he's been tremendous, just so electric. He'll get up. I mean, he had a beautiful header. Eddie Merck, who's one of the wingers, so speedy. I mean, if you get him the ball on a breakaway, my goodness, there's no one that can stop him. Those 2 are the ones that really stand out on the attack for me. I also want to mention Luka Gasic there in the midfield. I mean, he's kind of stepped into that Liam Desjardins role from the last few years, and he really directs the attack, gets them set up, and it's just been very impressive on all fronts.
Well, I want to hear what you know about this Beaufort team, a squad that certainly has made history already by getting over that lower state championship hump and making history of getting to the state championship game. So just your initial impressions from what you've seen on this Beaufort High team.
It's been interesting. This year I haven't kept as much in touch with what was happening in the lower state just because I had a little lower expectations. I started to follow the game against Waccamaw on Twitter once I saw, oh my goodness, this is really going to happen. Seems like an impressive team. I've kept up with Beaufort's athletics, especially this year, because that was the team I thought all year long the football team was going to end up playing the state championship. Colton Fairs, the just tremendous athlete that he is, I kept up with him. But honestly, the soccer team at Beaufort is one that I've just been kind of trying to learn about here over the last 24, 48 hours. I don't really have a ton of intel.
Yeah, no, and I think with them coming down to 3A this year, not many folks had them in this position of playing for a state championship because Lower State was so stacked with Philip Simmons, Hanahan, and Waccamaw, who were the kind of early season favorites. But given that, how big of a factor do you think the experience would be? This is Daniel's 3rd consecutive state championship game. They lost 2 years ago against Brooklyn Casey. Last year they won. It was a crazy game where there was a lot of goals in the end, and they won in penalty shootouts. And now here they are back again, playing for possibly a second consecutive state championship, which is difficult to do. How do you think that's going to factor in with the experience of an experienced Daniel team versus an inexperienced Beaufort team that has never been this far in the soccer program's history?
I think it's interesting just based on the fact that, Daniels had to replace so much this year. Like, there are guys with the experience in these playoff runs. I mean, Coleman, Eddie was a big part of it. Eric Thompson-Vasquez, like I mentioned before. Ethan Marrero, the captain of the team, who's kind of a fullback midfield hybrid. These are all guys that have played in that, but there's a lot of guys that don't. I think that having Coleman in goal is ultimately the deciding factor why I feel very confident in Daniel, just because of the experience he himself has in those 2 games. But, I don't think the experience is going to be ultimately the decider in a lot of the other aspects, just because there's so many players on the field that haven't necessarily seen time in this big a position before.
As we're just now, about less than 24 hours to go before kickoff, what do you think the most important deciding pieces of where this game could be won on Saturday night over Emerald High School in Columbia?
I think whoever is going to try to win this game, you need to come out strong. That's what Daniel did last year. I think it was 2 goals there in the first 15, 20 minutes. Now, obviously, 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer, and we saw that happen last year as it fell apart. But I think coming out strong and not, pulling back on the attack once you get that lead is going to be important for whoever comes out in this one. And if you're Beaufort, you got to try to shake the confidence of the defense early, I think, because if you let them sit back, get the stops, and start to get confident, then I think Daniel can easily roll.
Yeah, Beaufort can find a way to settle in and limit the the high-end talent on this Daniel team. I see the situation where this could be a stalemate into the second half, or I could see a situation where this Daniel team can use that experience and use that firepower to run away with it. So we could see a couple different scenarios play out. I think experience says something even across sports, and I think a lot of these Beaufort players, with that football experience, I feel like they can take a lot from that, playing at the highest level, playing a championship game. Do you think how much do you think that can carry over, especially having some of those guys who are used to having that winning culture? Could that be in a factor that could help Beaufort stay in this game or look to pull off the victory?
I mean, I think playing in a big scenario in any sport helps out, just because I know so many good players that I've covered over the years or watched that can tend to shrink in big moments and can tend to rise in big moments. And I don't think that's something that just goes away depending on the sport you are. I think that's something that's ingrained in an athlete, whether they're doing track and field or soccer or football or basketball. I do think that can carry over. It just depends on how confident you are coming in yourself, I feel like.
Brew Nimmons covering Daniel High School Athletics. Brew, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate your insights, and look forward to potentially seeing you tomorrow at the game.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I think it'll be a tremendous game. Obviously, I tend to lean Daniel based on how much I've seen them, but I mean, I'll probably look into Beaufort more as we head towards this, and I know they have to be a tremendous team to have made it this point. But good luck to you guys. Safe travels to Irmo High School tomorrow, and can't wait for the game.
All right, thank you again, Brew, and good luck tomorrow. All right, our thanks again to Brew Nimmons for coming on here and sharing some insight on Beaufort's opponent, Daniel High School. That's just one of 5 state championship games across the local, because we got 4 SCISA contests. And now let's get into those state championship games. And let's start off with Holy Trinity, because we got the boys and the girls looking to pull off the sweep. That's been an excellent program for a number of years. Both will be in action over at Hammond. The Hill Trinity boys will face Charleston Collegiate, and then the girls in an all Lowco state championship match taking on Beaufort Academy. So great to see 2 Lowco teams. We're guaranteed at least 1 state title. And what are you looking for both these Holy Trinity teams and this Beaufort Academy squad, this girls team led by a couple of young sensational stars?
Yeah, no. On the boys' side, Holy Trinity is going to have a tough matchup against what has been a very solid Charleston Collegiate squad, who's had a very good season in 1A. They've played some very tough opponents on the public school side as well as the SCISA side to kind of get them where they are now. So the boys are going to have their hands full up in Columbia to get the win and win the state championship. As for the girls' matchup, we know Holy Trinity's been here before. BA is going to be an experienced team in this battle, but like you said, they have some young players that have put up phenomenal numbers this season. We'll be talking to one of them later on in this broadcast. And they've had a great season. So it's been a phenomenal ride for them to get where they are now. It's going to be a good matchup. The BA girls have played some very good opponents this season. They've played some tough matches in the area. Like we've talked about West, we have a lot of strong talent in the Skeezer side, especially here in the local, where you are able to play the Hilton Head Preps, the Christian academies of our area, and that will help going into this. Is help the BA girls get to where they are now, and I think that's going to end up being the deciding factor of what's it going to be. Who has the experience of playing at a higher level, and who can pull off the win tomorrow when it's a winner take all. There is no tomorrow. There is no we'll try them next time. It's tomorrow's is for all the marbles. It kind of sucks that they have to go all the way to Columbia to play because they're both here locally. I don't know why we can just get a field in Beaufort, but hey, Skeezer is what Skeezer is. So it should be a good matchup. I think both teams will play well. It'll be a close matchup, I think, for the boys and girls. And the girls were guaranteed a champion. Hopefully the boys, the Holy Trinity, can also bring a state championship to the Low Country as well.
Yeah, chance for a Holy Trinity sweep over there in Class 1A. And the girls' game is actually a Class 1A, 2A combined bracket. So that's why you see BA facing Holy Trinity for the state title. And the other BA team, the boys, also competing for a crown, 3:30 p.m. So right after those two games finish, the BA boys will be in action against Greenwood Christian. They earned their way there after topping Myrtle Beach Christian 2-1, and an excellent contest back on Thursday. BA, a squad that has very, very impressed me. Their resiliency on the pitch, their ability to strike in key moments. What have been your thoughts this year on how this BA team has elevated their game to get to this point and have a chance at the state title? And do you think they'll bring home a trophy on Saturday?
Yeah, no, Coach Leslie, we spoke with him last year on our podcast, and he spoke about wanting to bring the BA program back to its glory days, to where it was, where they were constantly competing for a state championship. And I don't know how many folks had them going this route. They were the 2 seed out of the Skeezer bracket. They had to go up to Christian Academy and play a very tough Christian Academy squad that was 18-1 going into that game. They had only allowed 5 goals all season. They were the favorites to win that game. And then, as we know with the results, Grady Lamb scored a brace in the second half, and then in overtime, he scored what ended up being the game winner. And it was very phenomenal for them to be able to pull that off. Again, BA has played some very tough games this year. They played John Paul. They played Christian Academy. They played some public schools like Academic Magnet. So they were getting ready for this moment. And I think they've done a great season. Coach Leslie has done an amazing job in his second year in creating a culture with that program where the players are completely bought in. Even with the goalkeeper, right? Their starting goalkeeper from last year, he broke his finger before the season started, and they had to bring in Craig Bowman, who's not a goalie. He is not a goalie, but go look at their numbers, look at their stats. Holding Christian Academy to 1 goal in the state semifinal, him stepping up to be the starting goalie, who has been a big factor in this season. I spoke with Coach Leslie earlier today, and he spoke about that, about players stepping up and the team just kind of having the resiliency and just all the players. Braden Denon, who's a quarterback for BA, coming to play for the first time in almost over a month last game in semifinals, and just having a young squad, 8th graders on the bench, not much depth there. So for them to get to where they are, to be playing for a state championship, speaks on what Coach Leslie is doing at that program. I think they're going to have a great match. It's going to be a very tough matchup, but I do think, given how they play and the level of competition they played, they are very well prepared to go into this matchup and bring a title back to BA.
Well, Ian Leslie has done a spectacular job building up this program to where he wants it to be. Just resiliency of bringing in a new goalkeeper, coaching up in such a short time span, having the success that he's had, holding a very good Christian team who was dominant over the regular season, just 1 goal. That's an impressive feat. So already success here for this Ian Leslie squad. See if they can finish the job, get 1 more win, and bring home a remarkable state championship back over to Beaufort. And as he said, it is truly soccer city over there, with a number of Beaufort teams taking the field for state titles. And we got one from the island as well, Hilton Head Prep. The girls, I was at that match, and I'll tell you what, I was expecting a much more closer affair between the Dolphins and the JP Jewel Golden Warriors, but this one was all Hilton Head Prep from the start. Courtney Campbell got it going with a rocket to the back of the net, and Caladonda with an excellent game, 3 goals. She has been a star this postseason with 7 total. And, great to see, those depth players step up. It's not just Ashley Brown. It's not just Courtney Campbell, but they've been getting scoring from a bunch of those players here on the field. Just an excellent effort all around Hilton Head Prep, but JP2 just no quit in that team. Was able to get some goals off of some counterattacks throughout the game and some breakaway opportunities. So that's a JP2 team that has been fighting and scrapping. Trinity Grace Maxwell got banged up, unfortunately, late in that game. I hope she is okay because she had a tremendous year. But it will be the Dolphins advancing, and they will face not Hilton Head Christian Academy, who dropped a tough decision to Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach. So it will be that Myrtle Beach Christian side taking on Hilton Prep in what should be a fantastic state championship game on Saturday.
Absolutely. And we spoke about prep girls, right? And the kind of resurgence they've had the second half of the season. They're coming into this game having won 10 matches in a row. Their last loss was against Richmond Hill, which is a Class 6A public school from Georgia, who also had a great season. It's a very good team at Richmond Hill. So they've come on a stride and just kind of won. And like you said, 8-2 final in the semifinal. That means you were focused, right? And we spoke about last year, they felt they were disappointed because they did not reach their goal of going to the state championship game. They lost in semifinals. They made sure that this would not happen this year, and they've done so in very convincing fashion. They're going to play a very, very solid Christian Academy squad who is 12-1, has only allowed 16 goals, and has been an offensive powerhouse as well. Like you said, they just beat Christian Academy 3-2. So I think it's going to be a close game, but it's going to be a matter of, like, if it's a shootout, hey, I'm here for a 6-5 final because I think both teams can do it. And I think Prep has shown that they have the ability to go out there and just score goals at will. And I think that's what we're going to see tomorrow.
Prep loves the home run pass. They can get their attackers over the top and play that long ball and use that speed of those girls like Ashley. It's a really fun team to watch, and they can have some pinpoint passing as well. They're an unselfish group, and just a team with some excellent offensive prowess, speed, athleticism. It's a really fun team to watch. And we'll see if they can finish the job over there on Saturday and take them a state title. And I agree with you. It could definitely be a high-scoring affair, or you could see, some defenses and goalkeeping, find a way to, answer that challenge and step up as well. So it should be a very intriguing game. I'm expecting more of like a 4-3 or a 3-2 game, but I think it'll be close. I think it'll be within 1 or 2 goals when all is said and done. Between these two very quality teams, and a great run for Hilton Head Christian Academy girls. Great upset there, knocking off the 1 seed, Shannon Forest Christian, but they do fall in a very close one, 3-2 against Myrtle Beach. But another excellent year for the Eagles, but that state championship streak will come to an end, and we'll see if it will stay here in the Lowco. If Hilton Head Prep can take it this time and win one of their own. So busy Skiza Saturday lined up for us. And before we wrap it up, we're going to hear from one of these Skiza stars. In fact, 8th grade sensation from Beaufort Academy, who I got to talk with just the other day. Really impressed by her maturity. Keiley Good, we will get to her interview now. What a tremendous young woman. You're going to be impressed by what she has to say. Let's hear from Keiley now here on Lowco FC. Great sensation from the Beaufort Academy Eagles, Keiley Good. Keiley, congratulations on making the Skiza 2A state championship game.
Thank you. We've come a long way so far, and we're ready. We're really excited for states, which is Saturday. And our record, I think this year is like 12-2 or something like that. And 2 years ago, we've lost like every game. Like, we've come so far, and our coach has really helped us, Gordon Shuford, and the team is just really good this year and really strong, and the chemistry is amazing, whether it's the 8th graders bonding with seniors. Like, it's really fun.
Oh, you've been a big part of that. Picked up a hat trick and an assist last night in the semifinal win to get you guys to the state championship, a 4-0 victory over Charleston Collegiate. Take me through that game and your amazing performance on that night.
Yeah, so I scored a hat trick early. So I scored my first goal pretty early on, and then so we got excited. We got up and we were on a roll, and then we scored again. My teammate scored, and then we were at 4-0 by half. And then we ended up winning 5-1. The other team had played a pretty good second half, but we were still dominating, but they had good defense. and we got a PK in the second half, and I put that one in. And yeah, it was a good game.
You're at 5-1 over Patrick Henry was the score of the semifinal. Excellent effort from all you guys to pick up that victory. Just tell me about the relationship that you forged with your teammates and how that has kind of bonded you all on this playoff run, and how have your teammates set a good example for you?
Yeah, everyone, like I said, the chemistry is amazing on the team, and everyone works together, and I wouldn't be able to score if I didn't have my teammates. Like it's not a one-man show in soccer. Like, it's everybody on the field. And I think that's what really put us where we are right now.
You originally came up as a seventh grader last year. You got to play in a couple games, and you immediately made a difference, scoring a couple goals. Tell me about your feelings about when you were called up and how you were able to make a difference for your team so quickly.
Yeah, I was really excited when I got to play my first game as a seventh grader, and it was at the end of the season. I was a little nervous. I didn't really expect scoring two goals that game, but it just happened. And it's a lot different with middle school because the varsity girls are a lot better, so they can set me up and which creating scoring opportunities for me. So it was fun, and I liked playing with them a lot.
Keiley, tell me about your soccer journey, how you grew your passion for the game, how long you've been playing, and just the journey that you've been on to get to this point in your career.
Well, my whole family is kind of a soccer family. My uncle is the Naval Academy men's soccer coach, head soccer coach, and I've been playing since I was 3 or 4 in rec, and then I started travel in 3rd grade when I moved down to South Carolina from Connecticut. And so I've been playing for a long time, and I love the game. It's great.
Tell me more about this season and how you guys have really defied the odds. Certainly it's been a quick climb for you guys getting to the state championship, but just tell me how you all bonded throughout the year, going back to the start of your training, and how you guys have picked up your game so quickly and are now one win away from a state championship.
Yeah, so it started off by just a couple girls at practices, because we had a lot of girls in basketball, and there were extra practices that my coach would do with just a couple girls, or sometimes it was just me and the coach, one-on-one. And then once all the girls came back, it was great. We had so many girls out. I've never seen so many girls at such a small school trying out. And we put up straight away with the biggest big public schools. We're a tiny private school, and I mean, we only lost to our high school, Beaufort High, 2-0. We tied Hillnet Christian, and we tied other great schools, Battery Creek, a public school. And so yeah, and everyone was really worried with our schedule because it was super hard and the teams we were playing, but we pulled it off and we did great. So,
and just look at how far you've come this year. You lost 3-1 to Patrick Henry back on March 16th, ended up beating them when it matters in the semifinals 5-1. Just tell me about how you've improved since that point, and how excited you guys were to try to be able to face Patrick Henry again and eventually beat them to get to the final.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the first game, but I think it was Patrick Henry played well, what I heard, and I think we had a couple minutes. We were kind of freaking out, I think, that game. So I think we kind of cooled down last night when we played them, and we kind of just did our thing, and we ended up winning 5-1.
What has Coach Schuford meant to you this year, and what has your coach taught you that's been so important to both you and your teammates this year that have pushed you now to this championship game? And how are your coaches motivated this year to become an even better player here in 2023?
He's been the best, great. I would not be here. I would not be where I am if it wasn't for him. I mean, I play defense typically on my club team, and now I play striker for BA, and he trusted me there, and he taught me how to play there. Like, I'm still learning how to play striker. Like, I'd never played before, except when I was like, I don't know, 5 or something. But yeah, so that's been great, and yeah.
What were the biggest challenges for you moving to that new position, and how did you motivate yourself to excel at this new spot and continue to score for your team?
I think just having the motivation, wanting to score so bad, helped, like, in the adrenaline, really, and then him teaching me all these different things, and he's helped me with my left. Like, my left foot was so bad, my weak foot, but it's gotten really good, and I've had a lot of goals with my left foot this year, and it's gotten improved so much.
Well, that's fantastic. Have that skill to shoot from both sides and be able to shoot with that accuracy and put the ball in the back of that at such a consistent basis, which is so huge to help your team in that scoring area. And you have been absolutely thriving at the biggest stage here with that hat trick and an assist. And you're also a very unselfish player. You like to when you see opportunities to pass to an open player, you're going to get them the ball. Tell me about that unselfishness that's really helped you and this team.
Yeah, I mean, I love scoring, but I love when my teammates score just as much. Like, I like distributing, and whoever has the highest percentage shot, like, I will give it to them. Or if it's me, then I'll take it from wherever I am. But I love seeing them score too.
Well, you're a team player, and that's a fantastic trait to have as you continue in your soccer career. Tell me about your playing soccer in the travel scene. You've played for, I believe, ODP and some other organizations. Tell me about the travels part of your game and how that's helped to improve to become an even better player.
Yeah, I play on a club. I play Tormenta. That's my travel team, and then ODP. ODP, when I first got there, like, the level was insane. Like, I kind of got shocked at first, but then that was like the best experience of my life. Like, it was really good soccer, and that helped me so much, and I improved so much after that tournament.
That's fantastic to hear, and you still have another big game ahead of you. You're getting ready for the state championship on Saturday, and how excited are you to face Holy Trinity for the title?
Yeah, I'm really excited, especially since they're our crosstown rivals, and it's going to be a fun game. Hopefully not too aggressive, but it'll be fun.
Do you know any of those kids on the team by ways of club soccer or just playing against them during your career?
Yeah, I know a few of them. Not from club, but I mean, the school is really close in the same town, and I have friends that have friends on the team, like mutual friends, so I kind of know them and stuff.
You're a runner as well. You've been running cross country or track before, and just tell me about that and how that's enhanced your fitness level and your speed and your stamina out there on the field.
Yeah, that cross country has definitely helped with my stamina, and yeah, I kind of at first I couldn't run like the 3 miles straight, but now I can do it, and it's like helped so much. And in the game, I feel like it's easier to run like more because of the adrenaline and just having fun like with the ball. While cross country, you're just like straight running. So yeah.
I want to go back to what you were saying about that first time getting in as a high school player. How did that feel? To take the field for the first time on that high school team and just scoring 2 goals right off the bat. Just tell me about that experience now that you changed your philosophy and saying, like, I can do this. I can score and I can win at this level, and I have all the tools within me to succeed.
Yeah, I didn't start, but went in after 5 to 10 minutes, and I didn't score in the first half because I mean I was still trying to get to know and fit in with the game. And then the second half came, and I was like, I was like, I can do this, and I scored. I'm not sure how far in, but I scored, and then I scored again later on, and that was really fun stepping on for the first time varsity.
Who have been the teammates who have influenced you the most so far in your high school career, upperclassmen, seniors, juniors, those players who have been good role models for you?
Yeah, our captains are great role models, and they probably help a lot with stepping on for the first time. And I knew them, and I knew the players, and they were all really supportive. And I mean, our two original captains, Kate Lucky and Claire Tumlin, have helped a lot with me being an 8th grader.
And you've earned a captain spot, I believe, is what I'm hearing.
Yes,
amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And you've been noted for your passion for the game. Just tell me, what do you love the most about playing soccer?
I mean, I don't think there's really anything I love the most. I love the whole sport. It's everything combined.
And what would it mean to win a state championship this year and to really, get that momentum going for what could be a big couple years ahead of Beaufort Academy? Just how cool would it feel to get it done on Saturday, win a state championship?
That would be the best feeling ever. And I think this year is the year to do that, because we've got 3 amazing seniors, and I think this is the year that we can do it. I think it would be really great if we could.
Well, Keiley, before we let you go, it's time for our penalty shootout, where it's a tradition here on Lowco FC. We are going to ask you 5 questions, and just like a 5 penalty kick shootout, and you're going to give me your responses, and we'll see how it goes. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Question number 1 is, what is your favorite soccer team?
Like professional?
Professional, college, it can be any soccer team you want.
In the NWSL, I like San Diego Wave.
Very nice. And question number 2, who's your favorite soccer player?
My favorite is definitely Alex Morgan. I've just loved her for forever. Like, since I was little, I would dress up as her and wear her jerseys.
Legend for Team USA and for the entire women's soccer community. A great choice there. Question number 3, what is your most memorable, your most favorite soccer playing memory?
I'd say my favorite was probably winning the Jeff Cup with my club team, which is a huge tournament in Virginia, and it was amazing. I mean, it was a great tournament.
Awesome. Question number 4, what is you have been your funniest or most embarrassing soccer memory?
Oh gosh. I gotta think about this one. Probably like swinging at the ball. Oh no. It was definitely missing a PK.
Happens to all of us. Well, we'll count that as a made penalty since you've been honest and admitted that. So good on that. But it happens to the best of us at one point or another, and it just fuels you to get the next time, which is a big career ahead of you. And looking forward to seeing you play on Sunday for that state championship. And question number 5, last question: what is your all-time favorite movie?
Oh, my all-time favorite. I mean, even my favorite soccer movie is definitely Pele. Pele's a great movie, and yeah, I love Pele. It's really good.
Rest in peace to the great Pele, an absolute soccer icon and legend. So we miss him dearly already. And Keiley, you were fantastic. Thank you for coming on, and we wish you all the best as you compete for a state championship on Saturday.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll be right back with more here on Lowco FC. What a fantastic interview with Keiley Good, just an 8th grader, but her maturity to answering some of those questions and her truthfulness and her passion for the game. I mean, it is right up there with some of those most veteran leaders on the girls or boys soccer side. Really impressive young woman.
Yeah, no, and she's one of a group of eighth graders, 09s that we have in this area that are going to be probably the future of the girls' soccer programs here in the Lowco. That 2019 that she was a part of, they just won their regional league in the DPL. They went 21-1. Shout out to Coach Miguel Lopez, who's the head coach. They've had a phenomenal season. That group in the last 2 years has been phenomenal in their club scene, and now you're seeing that carry over here in high school. So in Skeeza, eighth graders can play varsity. In the high school league, they cannot. But there's going to be some names from this group that's going to pop out next year as freshmen on the public side that we're going to look out. But I think it's a very, very strong program. Great interview. You can see her maturity and just her genuine honesty and her pleasure of enjoying the game. She's going to be a big factor tomorrow if BA wants to bring a state championship home in that 1A, 2A matchup against Holy Trinity. So looking forward to see how she does tomorrow.
Well, the future of girls soccer is in great hands, as evidenced by Keiley and so many of these amazing women. And the pipeline has been established, and this is just going to be the start of something even bigger. So we wish Keiley and her Beaufort Academy Eagles the best of luck, and we wish all of our 6 teams in these 5 games good luck as they get ready to bring home some state championships. So any parting thoughts before we lower the curtain on this show and get ready for a big day tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I think tomorrow's going to be a great day for local sports and the soccer scene. Beaufort's kind of coining the soccer town moniker for this season, and they've earned it with the amount of teams representing the Beaufort area, which is crazy because there's not really a club there except for Club Beaufort with Coach Emer. So it kind of tells you just what they're doing over there at Beaufort. So best of luck to our teams tomorrow. We're not going to go undefeated because we do have a local matchup, but we do hope to bring home as many champs as possible. I am going to be at Irmo High School for the Beaufort High Boys State Championship game against Daniel. That should be a good one. And all the games will be in Columbia. So if you have nothing to do tomorrow, you can spend the whole day in Columbia. You can come catch 10 o'clock in the morning. I think it's the first game on the Skeeza side. And then you have the games following. And then you can have a nice little dinner before the 8 p.m. showtime between Beaufort and Daniel. So just come on to Columbia tomorrow. Come join us. We'll be out there. We'll hang out. Weather should be nice, should be great. And then just enjoy some great soccer. And hopefully our local teams will be victorious tomorrow.
Yeah, wall-to-wall action in Columbia. We got 10:30, Charleston Collegiate Holy Trinity boys, Hilton Head Prep Christian Myrtle Beach girls, both those matches at 10:30. And then 1 o'clock, you got BA Holy Trinity girls. And then 3:30, Greenwood Christian taking on the BA boys. And then the grand finale, the nightcap, 8 o'clock at Irmo High School. Beaufort High facing off Daniel for the 3A state title. So going to be an epic day of soccer tomorrow to close out what's been a fantastic spring. And then on Sunday, we'll recap all of the action and get to speak with some of our Lowco state champions right back here on Lowco FC. So for Misael Garzon, Wes Kerr, thanks for joining us. Thanks to both Jack Troutman and Keiley Good and Brew Nimmons for coming on. And thanks to, once again for you for watching and listening to today's show. So once again, Misael Garzon, Wes Kerr, good nights and a big day coming tomorrow here in the Lowco with 5 state championship soccer matches. Wes Kerr here saying, until next time, until Sunday, go Lowco.
The Lowco FC podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, providing grassroots local sports journalism in the South Carolina Lowcountry. To become a sponsor of this show and market your business or organization to our audience, send email to lowcosports@gmail.com. That's LOWCO sports@gmail.com. You can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/LowcoSports. Your monthly pledge will help us continue to provide great grassroots local sports journalism.